Welcome to Second Listen Saturday on the Parenting Roundabout podcast, where we share some fun moments from a past episode for your weekend listening pleasure. Look for new episodes every Monday through Friday.
We're wondering if you ever feel like your life is actually a TV show, and probably not a good one.
Yes. One of those HBO dramas where everything is awful. No. I was actually thinking about this a while ago. I think a couple of podcasts ago I talked about the difficulty of getting a straight story from my son, and that he is sometimes an unreliable narrator, that he doesn't necessarily always know exactly what the right story is himself, and so finding out what it is difficult. And it made me wish that I was in the sort of TV show like Columbo, where the detective knows who done it from the beginning and just has to kind of figure out how to make them confess it. I guess the audience knew it. I guess Columbo didn't, but it seemed like he always knew, and he was just getting them to get around to confessing. That's the kind of show I would like to be in. Mm-hmm. And instead I'm in one of these shows, these detective shows, where every 15 minutes, everything you knew is upended. You know, you think you got your guy. No, he couldn't have possibly done it for this reason. It's got to be somebody else. Oh, I know it's this person. No, it's not that person either. And then you get to 5 minutes before the end of the show, and it turns out that it's somebody else completely different. This is the sort of life I feel like I have now. That you can never be 100% sure of anything. That there's just going to be twists for the sake of twists. You think you got it figured out, and it turns out you had a bad piece of information. It turns out one of your informants was unreliable. It turns out that somebody was in Montreal at the time. It's just there's no figuring stuff out. So I feel like I'm trapped in a bad detective show a lot of the time. Not a bleak, nihilistic detective show on a pay cable channel, but just a good old procedural that has to keep you coming back after the commercial break. And so is constantly mixing it up. Do you guys ever have this feeling like you're stuck maybe in like a bad family sitcom or, a heartfelt family drama that you really wish you could bring a little humor to? Or is it just me that thinks these ways when I'm trying to procrastinate from things I should be doing?
I think for me it's the sitcom, where like yesterday when I drove my daughter all the way to the high school, and already that day it was going to be a minimum of 4 trips back and forth. And then I'm pulling in the garage and I get the phone call. I forgot my inhaler. I really, really need it. So here I go, like run upstairs, find the inhaler, bring it by the thing, and it was like every hour on the hour practically I was driving somebody someplace. Like I think my show would be like a mom who is also like an Uber driver, because she might as well. Like, you spend the whole day in the car, you might as well pick up a few paying customers along the way.
That's right. There you go. Jerry Seinfeld had that show about being in cars with comedians or something like that. Yeah. There you go. You're like moms in cars with kids.
With inhalers and tennis rackets.
Exactly. Or it's your own version of carpool karaoke. Go. Tell James Corden you're available. And we'll pick up any celebrities he might have in mind on your way.
Any celebrities who happen to be in my little corner of the world. And
you do with local celebrities,
That's true.
Well, I feel like I'm living a family drama. Serious family drama.
Uh-oh. Are you stuck in This Is Us? Do you weep uncontrollably just from time to time?
I'm stuck in the I don't even know if it's This Is Us. It's more, I don't even know. I'm trying to think of a TV show. So this is where I'm at, and then you can tell me what you think. Okay, so I've got the teenage daughter that is an emotional wreck 96% of the day. And comes down the stairs complaining about me either micromanaging her life or her friends, or she doesn't have anything to wear today. So I'm dealing with that. Yes. And then I've got my son who is a walking disaster. I mean, he's...
But you say that lovingly.
I say that lovingly. And he's just, we're constantly keeping him propped up and helping him move forward. And, whether it's finances or work or
the car crash,
stolen car. That's right. You have had some dramatic things.
It's one thing after another with him. And now, we're trying to figure out how to, what he's going to do when he graduates. So it's all this like serious drama with him. And then his girlfriend, same with her. She had her car stolen last week.
It does sound like you got material there for like a weekly hour on CW.
Yeah, exactly. And then I'm kind of like the mom in the midst of it all who's putting out fires left, right, and center, and then, throwing myself on the couch at 10 o'clock at night.
I think you get yourself 6 more kids and you got 8 is enough. You got some good plots going there.
So it's constantly, and then, my husband who works a lot is often not around, but when he is around, he's trying to manage his life. So yeah, we have a lot of drama in our family right
now. Yeah, you got some good plots there. We got to put together a pilot.
Right.
After we do your Coming to America documentary for PBS, which we discussed some podcasts ago, we're going to have to get going on the family drama.
Or we could just tie it all in, starting with us coming to America.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, actually, even before, because the drama started before.
Well, it could be like This Is Us. You could be flashbacking constantly to parallels in your youth, like trying to get across the wilderness to your high school in your older days, and then flash forward to your daughter trying to find the right outfit to wear.
Or us trying to get across the border.
Right. Or trying to get down the freeway to get to school. So much drama.
I'm a family drama, full on.
Is there a kind of show you would like to be that you are not? I would like to have some of the dialogue, like from The Lady in Speechless, I think I've said before.
Oh, yeah.
I covet, actually both parents. They got great lines, you know, that really put things into perspective and that make things, eventually come around by the end of the episode. I would like an end of an episode, It's like, there's never an end of an episode. We're like, just go. We're like a reality show, it just goes on for however. It would be nice if, every certain compact amount of time you came to a resolution.
Right.
And some things kind of carried on, but you get a satisfying resolution every regularly paced amount of time. It wouldn't have to be 30 minutes because that would be exhausting. But, once a month, can I just get a
nice
stuff comes together,
tidy resolution?
We have a laugh together as a family, or we realize we have surmounted this problem. I could use that. I need that sitcom resolution on a monthly basis.
That sounds
I'm not
like
asking
a
for
good plan.
How about you guys? Do you see elements of TV shows that you wish you could get a hold of?
How about
wardrobe?
one of the transformation shows, Terri, your bathroom would, over the course of a 22-minute show, transformed into something amazing.
I don't even care if it takes a month, as long as it winds up being something amazing at the end. I'm worried that it will be something not so amazing.
Well, I know, because on those shows, I think they cut a lot of corners.
I do hear that, yes. That
they do. My brother was part of one of those shows, and the behind the scenes is not
looks good for the camera.
We're going to have to hear more about this at some point.
I feel like I'm in the Love It or List It show where she gets her budget and goes to redo parts of your house and then comes and says, we found something that's going to cost basically twice what you've budgeted. Do you want to do it?
What should we do?
And your house will blow up if you don't. So would you like to sacrifice these other things you wanted or come up with the additional money? I feel like that's really true in pretty much every aspect of my life. Every time you think you're going to do something and you know how you're going to do it, she shows up and goes, We found something.
Not so much.
While we were painting the walls of your basement, we found that your furnace is about to
Lead.
explode. Yeah, we found lead, right. We found asbestos all throughout your home. We're going to have to knock it down and build it again.
for your $10,000
For your
budget.
$10,000. Listed.
You just reminded me of the Antiques Roadshow.
Yeah.
I want just the opposite, where I like find something
Oh, yeah.
in my attic.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Dust it off and think, this might be worth something.
Yeah.
And then I take it in and they say, wow, this is an incredibly rare 1863, Civil War, relic. And we'll pay you $1 billion
To take it off your hands right now.
I know it's in my attic. I don't think that's going to be happening to me.
You have some vintage computers up there that maybe
I do.
someday somebody is going to want those.
Vintage computers and very old china and yellowed copies of everything I've had published and Christmas decorations.
You just never know, Terry, when somebody is going to
You never know.
Nothing in my attic.
decide that they really need that vintage computer.
I guess I have a lot of albums. I always think that maybe somebody would want my record album collection. That's quite large and has been sitting in a basement for a long time, so I'm sure it's in pristine condition. But I think my tastes don't match up with those of record collectors. Anybody want to buy a bunch of old Barry Manilow albums?
Well, maybe those are harder to find. You never know.
That's always possible, but I have not. I have not kept them in sealed vaults with, the barometer and all that stuff. They're just sitting crammed together on a shelf in my basement. But you never know.
Yeah.
Antiques Roadshow, come on down, take a look.
Yeah.
Sounds
That's
like a
what I'm
plan.
thinking.